You are unable to run to the grocery store, go to doctor's appointments, or simply visit a friend when you want, all because you can't afford to purchase a bus pass as frequently as you may need it. Unfortunately, this is the reality faced by many older individuals throughout the country, which is why it is important to recognize the benefit that a free bus pass will provide for the elderly in need. Near the end of my grandma's life, my family watched her fall into a deep depression because she was unable to safely drive, and she was also unable to purchase a bus pass as frequently as she needed one, and so she was confined to the walls of her house all of the time. This was a disheartening thing to witness, which is why today I will be discussing the benefit that a free bus pass for individuals 65 years or older will have on traffic incident statistics, the cost burden that is faced by lower class elderly, and the overall impact it will have on the quality of life for the elderly. But first, we're going to focus on the impact it will have on traffic incident statistics. Elderly drivers pose a serious risk to the roads, and according to a 2018 study published by the Journal for Healthy Aging Research and conducted by Dr. Yadala Abafadi and his research colleagues, experts in gerontology and traffic safety, it is determined that traffic incident probability is higher in older drivers because of a reduction in cognitive process and response time when driving. Since older individuals are unable to defensively drive as effectively as needed, it increases the risk of dangerous traffic incidents that occur daily. Not only does delayed cognitive processing put the elderly at risk of an accident, but often older individuals suffer from hearing and vision impairments as well. Without the ability to hear and see effectively, they pose an even more serious risk to the roads. According to a study published by the Applied Economist Letters in 2023, Toru Fujiwara and Kazutaka Tsukechi, economists for Hosei University, found that the elderly drivers pose similarly as high of a risk for traffic incidents as drunk drivers do. Elderly drivers can be incredibly dangerous to the roads. However, they often don't surrender their license as soon as they should, simply because they can't afford the costs of public transportation. Now that we discussed a little bit about the implications it will have on traffic safety, we're now going to discuss the impact that free bus passes will have on the burden that is faced, the financial burden that is faced by lower class elderly. It can become quite costly to use public transportation. Think about it. You probably leave the house multiple times a week, if not multiple times in a day, and if you're relying on public transportation, this can become quite expensive. According to data published in 2023 by the Statista Research Department, the average bus pass in the US as of 2019 is $58. This sums to be about $700 a year, and bus prices have only seemed to increase since 2019. According to research published in 2023 by the Journal of Public Transportation and conducted by Kingsley Ofiali and Farhat Yaman, scientists for the University of London, increases in bus fares only lead to a decrease in riders. The largest demographic of riders that rely on public transportation are the lower class elderly. And so by increasing the cost of public transportation, it's leading to an overall decrease in all riders. Dr. Nelia Rahimova, a sustainable development researcher, conducted research on the financial status of individuals in the United States that was published by the Natural Resources Forum in 2018. In her research, she conducted that it is becoming a harsher reality to grow older with financial insecurity. Unless you reach the upper class before retirement, it can be incredibly difficult to stay financially comfortable later on in life, simply because once you're retired, there's no opportunity to earn an income. It can be simply unattainable financially for older individuals to use public transportation, which is why it is important to allow them free bus passes to uplift this financial burden they face. Now that we focused a little bit about the effect that free bus passes will have on financial burden of elders, we can now look at the overall impact it will have on their quality of life. Many older individuals without the ability to transport by way of their own car or without the ability to afford public transportation are confined to the walls of their home all of the time. Approximately 2 million older individuals in the United States are stuck in home. This was determined by a research study conducted by Dr. Claire Nkuda and colleagues who are researchers for the Icahn School of Medicine and Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, and published by the Journal of American Geriatric Society in 2021. When older individuals are not able to go to the doctors or they're not able to visit loved ones, this can have serious mental and physical implications, and it can lead to serious health deficits. According to a study by Andrea Zhu and colleagues, scientists in public health, which was published by the International Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry in 2017, homebound elderly are not hopeful about the future, and this can put them at a much higher risk for mortality. This poses so much risk to their overall health, and it can really lead to major depression and anxiety, which is why it is so important to be able to offer free public transportation to the elderly who can't leave home. According to Arzula Parnica, chairman of tourism and management, writes an article published by the Health Problems of Civilization in 2018 on the benefit of physical movement on elders' mental well-being. By promoting physical movement in the elderly, free bus rides will indirectly reduce the risk of diseases and enhance their overall life expectancy. So today, we have learned about how free bus rides will improve the traffic incident statistics by allowing senior drivers to surrender their license before posing a serious threat to trafficways. We have learned how free rides will eliminate some of the financial burden that lower class elders face each and every day. And we have also focused on how the overall improvement of the quality of life for older individuals who are able to access public transportation. So I hope today, after listening to my speech, that you believe older individuals aged 65 and older should be allowed to use public transportation or ride the bus for free.